It's a wonderful thing. I'm so happy I had brothers and sisters, and we all got along. We loved each other.
My mother came from a very solid, hard-working family. My father came from a broken home.
You know, my grandmother grew up on an island where if the community didn't stick together and work together, people were dying because the conditions were so harsh.
We worshipped Mom and Dad, you know, especially Mom. Mom, she was the one who inspired everybody.
Bella, she was a nurse. She was very kind, generous, and she loved all her children.
Mom had enormous passion for children, just incredible passion for children. She was head nurse at the Halifax Infirmary, primary nursery for years. Mom was a staunch Newfoundlander, came from a small village, Fogo in the Indian Isles. Their family and 13 other families lived on Perry Island. It was a Spartan life. They had turnips and potatoes. It wasn't much.
It was pretty barren. No trees. It was just a one-room schoolhouse. Mom taught there for a while, too.
She took high school by correspondence and ended up going to St. John's to do her nursing. That's where she met my dad, who was a soldier, Canadian soldier out of Truro, who came from a very difficult background, didn't get a lot of education.
And his mother had to, it was during depression, she had to give her kids away to different families. So his experience with family was very limited.
He, I think, really wanted a family, and much to the chagrin of her parents, she left with him and never went back.
We moved to Fairview, to McFatridge Road, which took a lot of moxie by my mother.
She cobbled a deposit together and she convinced the guy to give her the house, and that's why we rented out half of it. We lived in half of it.
We slept in one bed in one room for a lot of years until we got of age, and then the girls got their own room. And, you know, we had the boys, we slept, the four of us slept in bunk beds.
This whole neighborhood, except for maybe a few people, were poor. And I played with rocks when I was a kid.
Well, a big night for us on McFatridge Road was bologna and Big 8 pop. And that was like steak and eggs, you know, or steak and, you know what I mean? It was like, wow.
You know, there was rough times and there was bad times, good times, you know, like good and bad times we had each other.
That's one of the great things about our family. We're still all together. After all these years, it's hard to believe. There's not really any fighting, only Michelle and I.
Bicker.
Yeah.
My dad was quiet. He was a quiet man and loved his family, loved all of us, and we knew he loved us.
Dad was Mr. Popularity. Everybody loved him.
He had his first heart attack at 37.
We realized that our parents were trying their best, and Dad was sick, and Mom worked 7 days a week, but she'd come home and cook. It was amazing.
So we just looked around and said, so we all have to help, and so we did.
I went to work as a plumber's helper when I was 11.
I quit school, high school, after grade 11 and worked for Eaton's.
When Mom would get paid every second week, I would always meet her over at the Halifax Shopping Centre. And we would get gifts, like little baby things for babies that were at the nursery that their parents weren't coming back for.
She walked from here in a snowstorm. The buses weren't running. She walked from Fairview all the way to the Halifax Infirmary in a snowstorm, right? I mean, she said, I have to go because babies are waiting for me. I gotta be there, right?
She saved a lot of kids, saved a lot of lives, and she didn't even realize it. She was just doing her job, right?
Mom and Dad both were always there, of course, for us, but for anybody that needed help.
My dad drove a Canadian Line bus up till he was 37, and oft times people didn't have money to get on the bus, but he never refused.
He'd bring a box of food home, and there were some kids up the road that the family lived over there. He'd say, he'd take some for us, and he'd say, here, take it over to those guys over there and give them the rest, right?
There's something to be, kind of inspired by. The fact that there's been people in the family who've started off with relatively modest beginnings, and to see the growth, and then to see that people haven't lost touch of what's important.
My dad, in his office, he's got a closet full of toys. So anytime a kid comes into his office, he's always got a toy to give because because he remembers what it was like.
You know, my mother was devastated when my father passed away, and he passed away at 57. She would not entertain the possibility of another relationship. And she actually got her driver's license at 60, which, yeah, I know, it was terrifying. Mom died of colon cancer, and her mother died of colon cancer, and her sister died of colon cancer. I took her to see my doctor, Howard Conter, and it's determined that she has liver cancer. And then subsequent to that, after some other work, they found out she had a tumor the size of my fist in her colon.
Christmas was our favorite time of year. My mom always did a great Christmas.
Yeah,
and that was the day she died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas 2000.
I've had the pleasure of meeting with the MacDonald family a number of times, and nothing is clearer than their commitment to family.
The way I believe is that what I do is what I do, but my true wealth and my true success is my family, right?
And today they're making an investment in cancer care, and I deliberately call it an investment because that's what it is.
The QEII Cancer Centre, we are involved in training, teaching and education, growing the next generation of cancer care healthcare professionals. This is an amazing gift that will allow us to advance cancer care to earlier detection, to better treatment options, to improved survival and better long-term outcomes.
The new cancer center will be named the Colin and Bella MacDonald Family Cancer Center. The truly amazing thing about this very generous gift is that it will specifically fund innovation.
By having a donation like this and moving research and innovation and sustainable kind of giving in our future, this means that we will be moving into a future state that we would not, in my lifetime anyway, I would not experience without that kind of generous gift.
Everybody's cancer is different. It is about looking for new ways to understand what's unique about the cancer that you have and what does that tell us about how we're going to treat that cancer. And the MacDonald family is going to have an impact for years to come in that area.
You know, this investment, it's not just the building, it's the people that come and fill the building.
Understanding the importance of the people there and what they do on a day-to-day basis, the commitment, the stress, the challenges that go along with the job.
This is going to upgrade the quality of care that's available to people, not just in Halifax, but in Nova Scotia and hopefully the Maritimes.
I think the QEII Foundation is an amazing organization of dedicated citizens of Halifax who are trying to make medical care better for all Nova Scotians.
The We Are campaign is a $100 million campaign to transform healthcare in this province. And it is the collection of many smaller campaigns that will lead to the big idea of truly having a world-class facility here in Halifax.
We're sort of a modest people out here on the East Coast, but to have something that could be potentially like the leading cancer care center in Canada in our own backyard will be something that hopefully inspires people to do even better things in the future.
We have a community in Atlantic Canada that is more than willing to step up, and we see it every day.
All of them from Fairview, they'll tell you that fighting was part of what what made them who they are and growing up. So, taking on something as big as cancer is, there's only one way to do it: take it on head on. So,
I think the impact from something like this is going to be felt for decades, because it's not just what we're doing now. It's going to be what we do 20 years from now, 50 years from now.
The transformational gift like this is going to make a huge difference, and I feel that in my heart. I feel it in my soul.
This is a family that leads with heart and keeps all of their family members around them.
Okay, we're going to start getting everybody together for the pictures, okay? You don't have to have all the glitter and glitter, right? Just simple family, love of family can change the world.
They're honoring their parents. This is about a legacy, about giving to families for families, because we know that the cancer journey is not one you take alone. You take it with your family around you. And the impact that the MacDonald family will have will be felt by families across the province.